everybody. So, I want to give you a quick rundown of the ECS that I've built and the layered rendering system and interaction system that's been implemented for my custom project. But before I give a demo, I think it's pretty important to talk about sort of what I tried to implement, because this project started out wanting to be one thing, and as I'm sure you've seen plenty of times before, it turned into a little bit of a monster, right? As they do. But it sort of kept its vision. So what we have here is, or what I tried to implement and what was implemented, is a layered rendering system and an entity component system where the components are purely data, right? They're plain old data. And this data is worked on by different systems, right? Different systems store IDs relevant to IDs to relevant sets of components to which they're able to access via this game data map and do work on, right? So, with that said, the way that I've demonstrated the layered rendering system, because we've used a painter's algorithm to sort of render everything, is I've got a red hexagon outline which is overlaid on top of the hexagon grid. I've implemented a hexagonal grid for this, and you see as you hover over hexagons, the collision is detected between wherever your mouse is and the hexagon, and a red hexagon is drawn over that. On top of that, we have an interaction system which at the moment just randomly changes the hexagon's texture, but if you couple that with the rendered layering system and the ability to toggle on and off mass amounts of textures or UI elements, each with interactable components, what you're able to do is build UI on top of a game world, and you're able to manipulate that through different systems. Sorry. So, what does that look like in practice? Not a lot. It never does. I'm sure it never does, right? But, so here's the hexagonal grid. This is rendered off of a file. This is constructed from a file. We see we have a couple of different textures, coder art. And what we can do is as we hover over collision is detected, we get this overlay of a red outline on top of the hexagon. And if we click, we're able to change the hexagons. It just changes it randomly. We're able to change the hexagon's color. And that's about it, right? So we have an interaction system and we have an overlay system. Demonstrated the most boring way possible, but there it is. And I'm sure we'll get into the implementation of it all in just a moment.